Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot with a general reading for Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. This month, my focus is back to school, so I'm using decks that remind me of childhood and elementary school. And but also yesterday, I got the beautiful Camena tarot that is a majors only deck. Right now, someone told me yesterday that there will be the rest of the pips coming along at some point. Right now it's majors only, and the spread for me that's really good for using majors only is the spread that I developed, the Trinity Spread, which was developed to use 3 different decks. So I have my monthly focus deck, and then these 2 decks that I'm working with this week, the Pip Speak Tarot and Tarot for Everyone. And they're just right for this kind of a spread, so here we go. I've already shuffled and cut everything. Oh, didn't cut this one. So this spread uses 3 piles of 3 groups of 3. To break a question down. I have peppermint oil on my hands today because I found out peppermint oil is good for repelling bugs. And so I get and where we live, I get a lot of bites on my ankles. So before I go out to the mailbox or do any errands outside, I put it specifically on my ankles and up my legs a little bit. But because the peppermint oil is still in between my fingers here, that's generating heat. So it took a little harder for me to pick this way. So here, oh, well, let's set, I'm going a little too fast. Let me slow down a minute. So this is a general reading for Wednesday. And what I'm going to do is break it into body, mind, and spirit. Spirit, body, mind. Spirit, body, mind. Spirit, body, mind. Now, if you go back to my original video about how I created this spread, I often said to use an oracle card here, but it can also be a card that is lighter in tone, and that's definitely the Pip Speak. Also, I do like this kind of sizing. I kind of reserved this space for an oddly shaped deck when I thought about how I was going, and I reserved this space for the largest card. So there's kind of a size thing, but also a tone. It's like largest card, and then whichever of these is the lightest, I put here. In this case, they're both they're both pretty light. Pip Speak, because it has the yes and no card, and it has some other cards that I find just a little difficult to read. I'm pushing that over to the light. That's the lightest in terms of weight, not in terms lightest in terms of seriousness, not in terms of depth. And the other reason to have a light one here with each group is that you want to end each group on a lighter note, if possible. So we're starting off with, I'm going to read it starting here, body. Oh, the Hermit. One of my favorite cards in this deck. The Hermit. Whoa. The Tower. And body. Well, so these three now I read, I can open reading to form one answer. Yes, I've been struggling with illness, and I'm waiting for a doctor's appointment at the end of the month to get some answers about some blood work. That's in addition to my usual seasonal chronic illness, which can flare up about this time of year too. The Tower, things changing. Most of you know I don't do predictive readings, but if you go back, there was one reading that gave me a predictive reading. There was a deck that gave me a predictive reading, and it said that this was going to happen this fall, and now here I am getting it again. So I've just been aware of that, and of course, I don't know what form it could take, you know? And I don't want to guess what it might be, because then I'm kind of bringing all those negative potentials into my life. So I try to be as prepared as I can be. And of course, the Hermit is, this is really me. I've been heavily in introvert mode. I almost decided not to teach this semester, but I did decide to teach, and it's going to help bring me out of that. Now, that's me. This is also a general reading. So body, this is not good. This can be illness. Now, it can also be moving away from, like if you were starting a new exercise regime, this could still be applicable. This could be, this is where you were, and you're starting a new exercise regime, and you're transitioning now into something else. And why are you doing that? Because you've gained wisdom, you've been introspective, and you've gained wisdom that it really is important to take care of your body. Okay. So mind. These two cards were my first reading with this deck. The Arcana battle that I did, and they came up in this order. So the Hanged Man, Justice, and, oh, Page of Cups. Nice. Okay, so this is a particularly dark Hanged Man. I mentioned when I talked about it before that it definitely has Christ symbolism, crucifixion symbolism, with bleeding from the wrists and then a nail through the foot. So we have the blood coming down here, and then we have the bleeding from the wrists. And each branch of the tree that has been cut off is bleeding. So this is your mind. This is your mind. So you've been feeling really beaten up. But ironically, what you're nailed to here is in bloom. So even though it's upside down, this is your basis. This is what you're nailed to. This is your core beliefs. Your core beliefs are good. So you may have been attaching yourself to ideas that were not important or not as good for you. And it's time to wake up and come to some other ideas and start processing things a different way. Turn your subconscious upside down. Be willing to let yourself fly and think, even just consider things differently from how you considered them. Justice, again, is you have the two minds here. So we have a lot of indications that you're either deciding something major or you're choosing between two things. But here, your heart is as light as a feather. So it seems like in the midst of looking at things differently, you're making a very good choice. Confirmed here with the Valet de Coupe, who is the who is loving and gentle, but also inquisitive and smart, and really wants to bring you the best messages possible. And this is all, of course, your mind. So lean into this innocence. Lean into this heart as light as a feather. It's really hard right now to feel like you can have a heart as light as a feather. But lean into that when you're dealing with your own decision-making processes. And then spirit. Oh, the sun. I'm going to put that there. Oh, another page. Okay. The Guardian of Cups. The Guardian of Cups, especially in this deck, is, well, it is the reference, it's the Queen of Cups in other decks, but in this deck, it is specifically a reminder to take care of yourself as well as you take care of others. So, and this is in the spiritual realm. So that's just a reminder that your cup has to blossom before you can feed others. The sun, of course, is tremendous happiness. So spiritually, you're doing well. And that kind of fits with what we're finding here, is that your heart is as light as a feather. Spiritually, you're doing well. And this tells you spiritually you're doing well, too. We're dealing with outside events, outside decisions, and maybe some health issues that may bring things to you. They're not coming from inside you. And as we know, health issues can affect this negatively as well, and your mind. Okay. So the Valet of Denier, the Page of Coins. This again is another smart innocent, another wise and long-thinking, forward-thinking innocent. This one is more of the dreamer in your mind. This one is more of the practical in your spirit. So that's probably a good way to have it. So this one is more concerned with the application of this joy and this making sure you're taking care of yourself. And he is looking directly at her. Well, they are, oh, I uncovered her. While they are looking more at each other and grasping onto the sun together, he's looking at her. This page appears to have a big bag, big messages coming your way spiritually. And there's, doesn't look as if he's dropped a coin. It looks as if there's another coin on the ground, so there's going to be even more coming with your pure heart. The heart as light as a feather. And your heart here at the core of death, which was talking about you transitioning away from this solitary and potential health issues. And that's just a daily reading. Now, if it weren't, let's look at what's majors. What are the things that are going to last a little longer or may have already existed? I told you this has been existing for me for a while. It's also been coming up in a lot of readings again this week. So we have the Hermit, the Tower, the Hanged Man, and the Sun. So in my wrap-up, I'm just going to say this bodily issues lightened by a new decision-making process and an inquisitiveness with a reminder to that you're already sunny spirit. Try to keep that there, but also with the practicality of keeping yourself grounded and able to give to others. Thank you. See you tomorrow.